वंदे मातरम के पश्चात आमंत्रित कर रही हूँ पिनाकिनी नायक हमारी एडमिन कि वो आएँ और ग्रुप के बारे में, समूह के बारे में अपनी प्रस्तुति हमारे समक्ष रखें।
ख़वातीनो हज़रात, मैं डॉक्टर JS भोगल आप आए सभी मेहमानगणों का अपने तहे दिल से आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, आपका इस्तकबाल करता हूँ। Ladies and gentlemen, I accord a very warm welcome to all of you. Poets Artist Unplugged, जिसकी बदौलत आज हम सब यहाँ पर एकत्रित हुए हैं, आखिर क्या है, उसके उद्देश्य क्या हैं, उसके मेंबर्स कैसे बना जाता है, उनकी अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज़ क्या हैं, इनके बारे में हमें बताने आ रही हैं हमारी एक बेहद हुनरमंद एडमिन पिनाकिनी नायक। Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Pinakini Naik.
Hello everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Pinakini, as you've heard. I'm from California, USA, and I'm very proud to be a part of the Poets Artist Unplugged global team. We've come together this afternoon for the launch of our book, Mytho Manthan. But before talking about the launch, I would like to first talk about how we got here. Poets Artists Unplugged started as a fledgling online poetry group in March of 2011, which provided a platform to budding amateurs and established poets and artists to share their creative work with the online community. The group consists of an abundantly creative bunch of people who are on an exciting and enjoyable ride together as the group blossoms into full potential. We like to think of ourselves journeying together in a bus full of gifts for the world. Our poetry and art bus concept has led us to many adventures and wonderful experiences, some of which took us to meet and support people in need, resulting in incredible connections that created something very beautiful. Not only did the poets and artists gain new focus for their creative energy, but also everyone involved gained a mutual feeling of belonging and a feeling of raised consciousness. We were simply amazed to see what could be achieved when talent, love, and resources got pooled together, and how it led to empowerment of people, enrichment of lives, making them an intricate part of the solution. Experiences of involvement with people were the driving force behind the emergence of our mission that we are so passionate about. We aim to promote healing through creative expression by uplifting collective consciousness, highlighting social ignored causes, and contributing towards marginalized groups. Let us take a quick look at some examples of our achievements in our past. We've hosted lunches for the elderly and hosted yoga and meditation workshops in senior citizen homes to help improve their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. We've included and felicitated them in our functions to foster a feeling of belonging and connectedness. We've hosted events with free art lessons and art material to underprivileged children from orphanages to encourage their creativity and promoted their talent on stage during our launches. We've promoted environmental causes with trips made to parks. We've promoted awareness towards our legacy and historical monuments by holding poetry reading events at historical avenues. PAU is in the process of becoming registered as a non-profit organization. We are a group of over 300 members all over the world. We host monthly poetry and art contests to promote and foster creativity within our group. By doing these activities, PAU hopes to raise consciousness by changing prevailing perspectives on marginalized people, highlight interconnection between privileged and underprivileged as parts of the greater whole, foster an attitude of teamwork to inspire and bring about change, drive ownership towards benevolent causes so that the creative community can contribute with innovative leadership. And in this way, we provide different mediums for poets and artists to focus their creativity into a meaningful purpose. Saying that, all this wouldn't be possible without our wonderful group administrators who are from places all over the world like USA, Kuwait, Pakistan, and different states of India. They put in their time and dedicated effort to nurture this group as a family. Their different educational and occupational backgrounds bring a beautifully diverse set of experiences and wisdom as a key driving force behind PAU. And we are so very proud to say that we have been able to launch 3 books within a span of 1 year. This brings us to our previous book launches. Our first book launch was launched on Women's Day, March 8th, 2015 in Ludhiana, celebrating substance of womanhood, and it was a great success. It was dedicated to all women in the world, their struggles, perseverance against odds, selfless love, creativity, and their aspirations. Our second book was launched with resounding success on April 26, 2015 in New Delhi, and it was dedicated to young and upcoming poets and artists to underline poetry and art as healing mediums, a call for expression to awaken human sensibilities, to be aware of the fact that our world is a beautiful place and how we must come together to make it more harmonious and peaceful. Both books were very well received and made quite a splash in the news. Our next book, which was launched at the beginning of this year, was dedicated to the cause of refugees. The recent exodus of refugees in Middle East had shaken up the world for some time, and it had broken our hearts to see the plight of displaced innocent humans. It was this strong trigger that sparked the idea of our third book, Colors of Refuge, and it was launched on January 28, 2016. We wanted to illustrate the different shades of refuge and capture the strength and resilience of human spirit when faced with hardships. The launch was a high-profile, lively event with many dignitaries, a wonderful dance performance, and a beautiful exhibition of artwork and photography. It was graced by luminaries such as Padam Shri Raghurai, the doyen of photography, as chief guest, Mr. William Tall, UNHCR Head of Mission in India and Maldives, celebrated Urdu poet and lyricist Farhad Shahzad, and renowned Hindi poet Dr. Sita Sagar as guests of honor. The event was a great success. We felt very elated to be able to make a significant contribution towards the cause by donating Rs 1 lakh to refugees living in India. It strengthened our resolve to continue working on the goals of our mission statement. Which brings me to the launch of our feature book for today, Mytho Manthan. Before we talked about it, I would like to share how the idea of the book germinated. Said in his book, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, that which destroys the old mythos becomes the new mythos. When we begin with once upon a time, we go back in time. Mythology is a time machine that takes us back in time. Reversing the clock, poets and artists, scholars and historians explore myths to prove or disprove, or to find a theme or new context to expression. We must put out a disclaimer right here. We are approaching mythology as a subject of arts and literature and not getting into the elements of faiths, whether these gods or events are gospel truths. It is not our endeavor to question. The fascinating literary heritage of our world has so much to offer, spanning a wide range from the classical Egyptian, Indian, Latin, Mesopotamian, Nordic, Oriental, pagan, Mayan, African, and the obscure ones. There is always something superhuman in mythical figures that hold us spellbound and in awe. It is their human failings that evoke pathos. As Joseph Campbell, the famous author and expert on myths and archetypes, said in his book, The Hero with Thousand Faces, the agony of breaking through personal limitations is the agony of spiritual growth. Art, literature, myth and cult, philosophy and ascetic disciplines are instruments to help the individual past his limiting horizons into spheres of ever-expanding realization. As he crosses the threshold after threshold, conquering dragon after dragon, the stature of the divinity that he summons to his highest wish increases until it subsumes the cosmos. Finally, the mind breaks the bounding sphere of the cosmos to a realization transcending all experiences of form, all symbolizations, all divinities, and a realization of the ineluctable void. Simply narrating a myth would amount to repeating what has passed on through generation. And so we have this urge to not merely share fables and tales, but to find new meanings, either by a contemporary context, an amalgamation of cultures and myths, or a literary reinterpretation, which brought us to this arduous task of Mytho Manthan, which we began rather ambitiously and impudently by coining the title Reinventing Myths. Soon it dawned on us that we can reinvent nothing. All these stories are already there in the cosmos since time immemorial. At best, what we can do is reinterpret or concoct cocktails from what already exists. And so, we churn these myths and archetypes in the ocean of our consciousness and imagination, through which has emerged a new awareness which was captured in poetry and art, opening the doors to a new paradigm that is in keeping with our mission statement of healing through creative expression and uplifting consciousness through inspiring poetry and art. We would also like to thank the contributors for this book from all over the world, from places like India, US, Pakistan, Kuwait, England, Ireland, Germany, Nigeria, Israel, Belgium, Australia, Hungary, Canada, South Africa. Mytho Manthan is a labor of love and the culmination of all our joint efforts. And so at this point, I'd like to say 3 cheers to us and hip hip hooray. Before ending the presentation, I'd like to mention that in order to keep this wonderful momentum going, the Poet Artist Unplugged group, we would like to issue a call to action for everyone to pull ideas, talents, and resources together. We invite you to work with us to create and participate in events benefiting worthy causes. If you have a creative streak, please become a part of this movement by joining and contribute your art to make a difference. Dedicate your resources and love to help alleviate the plight of the underprivileged. Thank you.